Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bolt and today we're going to take a look at Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Thundercracker. Now obviously this figure is basically just Starscream, but I prefer Thundercracker, so we're going to take a look at him. Obviously starting off with the box, Thundercracker himself in there. Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy, Transformers on one side, and, oh wait no, Thundercracker on the other, sorry about that. Generations up the top. One side of the box, figure itself. Other side, your basic Siege bits and bobs. Top of the box, Decepticon insignia for Cybertron Trilogy. Bottom is just your legal bits and bobs. Back of the box, figure itself and alt mode, 22 steps. Battle Masters, which was basically pocket money toys they were pushing at the time. Obviously compatible with the toy itself. Choose weapon loadout, Battle Masters, other figures in the line. Up the top of the box, Thundercracker, so Tron Trilogy has 39, whatever that means. Not too much really else to talk about with the box, so only thing to do is open up the bastard and take a look at him. So getting into the figures alternate mode, start off with. Obviously this is sort of like a triangular jet sort of thing based off of the first ever episode of G1, also the first ever episode of any Transformers cartoon for that matter, where the Seekers showed up as sort of, it's this same sort of triangle jet sort of deal. It was a bit more pointy in the show, like there's a big spike up here as well, I remember, and I think these were more pointed. But obviously you don't want your child like swooshing this around and then poking their eye out with this. In my opinion, it looks pretty good from some angles, others not so much, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Obviously captures, you know, those classic Thundercracker colours with the bits of red, mostly blue, bits of red and bits of black. Nice little faux windshield up here. Don't really know why it has one, because it's Duo Aliens, but that's been mentioned to death at this point. I think it's a bit of a hot take. I don't know if it is or not, but I do kind of like the weathering on this figure. I know that's a bit of a controversial thing with Siege and their battle damage silver paint hats. Back of the figure, fake chest, bit odd if you ask me. 3 ports here for like the thrusters, which they can do like the Siege explosion port things, but I don't have any of them that are compatible. Weapons down here, is basically just the regular null rays that the figure has. You get 2 of these in blue in the set. Obviously they do look quite nice. Bit generic if you ask me. I mean, they are supposed to be just regular rifles and they can be used as regular rifles, which is why they have a little scope on top. But they can plug into the figure's forearms. Get them head of surface there though. You have 2 ports in the figure to put them, one here and one up here. I don't really like how they look on there. It feels a bit too, doesn't really look too great in my opinion. I prefer to keep them on the wings. I do have some of the ports that plug in to the thing, if that's going to work. Hopefully it does. That's not going to plug in, is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it works with these Siege shooty boys, but you know, these are just like soft rubber, and they might be they are a bit easy to fall off because they're soft rubber. Obviously tabs of kibble. I can't really ignore all of this at the bottom. That is literally just if I just untab this, that is literally just the whole figure sitting atop the shell of the alternate mode. I'm not a fan of this. It's way too clunky. You can literally tell that's the arms there, and that's the legs, and that's the feet. It looks an absolute mess. I mean, I can sort of give it a pass considering, you know, it's supposed to be an alien, you're not trying to disguise yourself on your own home planet. But it still doesn't really look too appeasing if you ask me. Not really anything else left to say about the figure's vehicle mode. So let's get him transformed and show you the robot mode. So here we have the figure in his robot mode. Now, obviously, we all know this body type, you know, the traditional Seeker Starscream look. And obviously here it is in Thundercracker blue. So to get into the nitty-gritty of the figure, head sculpt I like, but on the other hand, I feel like it should have gone to Starscream, who had more like a generic, you know, grunt-looking scowl. But it is a nice head sculpt, really. Obviously looks like traditional Seeker mods, as I said plenty of times before. I know you can like swap the heads out. I'll probably do that at some point later, but this is the base figure we're talking about. Chest plate as well, generic Seeker chest. Bit odd that they gave him the traditional Seeker chest when the alt mode, as we saw, was different like cockpit look, but you know, I'll live with that. Arms as well. I do really like the you know, the chipped paint. I do like it. I know it's a bit controversial, but I'm a fan of it. And you can also, if we bring back the null rays here, they do plug into the arms, which is a blessing to me. They do plug in for that traditional Seeker look, or if you want to, you can just hold them in his hands. Get that plugged in. There we go, we can just hold them. It does look like a bit of a sniper looking rifle. I prefer them on his arms though. I just think that looks better to me. Plug that into there, like so. There we go. Yeah, that looks much more Thundercracker-ish to me. I just prefer my Seekers with null rays on their arms. Getting down into, you know, legs as well, similar like scuffed up paint job. I think when it comes to Siege, it was most prominent on the legs. Bit odd there. What can you do though? Feet as well, got that traditional high heel kind of look for the Seekers. Very nice, very nice. Back of the figure is where most of the bits and bobs are held. You know, traditional Seeker wings that we all love. We love to see the Seeker wings. Just sort of completes the look, really. You know, the big old things at the back. Not nose cone. Thrusters at the back. Nose cone splits up and becomes the two fins at the back, which I do enjoy. Obviously, another cockpit here, because as we saw previously, this is fake cockpit. The legs here, I do like how they work. They're spring loaded, so when you transform him, you fold his legs in, and when he's untransformed, they fold back out. So you don't have big old gaps in the legs, which is most lovely. In terms of kibble for this figure, he, like in robot mode at least, he really doesn't have much. Obviously, he's got a bit of a backpack. This sort of extends out of here, but as we saw, most of this figure is a bit of a shell former. So obviously, robot mode kibble is basically extended to the back and the wings, because the wings are see, they are I think that's a better way of looking at it. They are curved, so a lot of that like curves in and closes them up. So yeah, it's mostly the wings and the cockpit that do most of the shell forming for this figure. So there we have it, my review of the Transformers Wolf Cybertron Trilogy Siege Thundercracker. It is quite the nice mold, I will admit. They redid this mold several times over with the Starscream and Thundercracker. Skywarp is a pain in the ass to get hold of though, so don't expect a review of him anytime soon. I would like to do a whole like group review of the whole gang, but I think there's about 11 of the molds so far. But as I say, it is a very nice mold. I would definitely recommend this figure, or it's one of its many repaints. Do be so kind as to like the video, share it around, subscribe as well. It all helps out us a lot. I haven't really got anything else to say, so I do hope you enjoyed this video, and that we'll see you in the next one.